Today's story begins with a couple who are not feeling good about their plans. Actually, today their plan is to rob a grocery store, for which they are fully prepared. However, even after robbing the whole store, Jody was not satisfied because she saw a box behind the cashier, and she started insisting to open it. But the cashier warns her that she does not have what she wants. That's why she did not open it. But Jody was greedy. That's why she opened it. Then she heard the sound of a bullet. We went straight to a desolate jungle where a lonely girl was wandering here for a long time due to hunger. She had no one with her. I don't know what happened to her in the past. She is in this condition now. But now she sees a wooden hut in front of her. She immediately went inside it. Where there was food, she saw a bag full of food. Whatever she touched, she started eating it. But then she heard someone's scary voice from outside. There is someone who is coming this way. As soon as this fear started, the stuff was hidden under a bed there. Then that person came inside. He had an axe in his hand. But we could not see who he was. He picked up his food bag and walked quietly. There was stuff hidden below. She quietly hides. When some time passed, she decided that she should get out of here now. That's why she decided to run away immediately. But then she suddenly ran into the same man whose name was Tom. But he didn't harm her. In fact, he helps her. The caretaker apologizes to her that she stole food from her bag because she was hungry for 2 days. Actually, her car broke down. In the middle of the road, her husband passed by and went to the petrol pump for help. But he hasn't returned yet. Coincidentally, Tom's car has also broken down. In fact, he has been stuck here for 3 days. As soon as she heard this, she got scared and said that she would have to go. It is possible that he has come for her husband. So Tom also goes with her. But there was no one there. That's why they both leave a note there. They came back to the same hut with some warm clothes. At night, the temperature here drops a lot. That's why Tom asks her to fold blankets, which she had brought from the car. But she didn't understand why her husband left her alone in the middle of the forest. He could have taken her with him. Samantha told him that she was pregnant. That's why he did this. Tom asks her to sleep on his bed, and he himself talks about sleeping on the floor. Before going to sleep, he gave her drinking water, which he had brought from a nearby lake. But the strange thing was that when he went back the next day, he was not a sign of the lake. But with these confusing questions, they both go to sleep. Samantha also has a bad dream in the middle, which wakes her up early in the morning. But Tom can't see her anywhere around. When she went out, she found an unconscious white-haired girl. She immediately took her to the hut. Here Tom takes out some fuel from his car, so that they can put it in Samantha's car, so that they can get out of here. Here the white-haired girl comes to her senses. Then we can recognize, hey, this is Jody, the same girl who steals at the grocery store. But how did she come here? Now when he saw Samantha, he thought she was a bad woman, and this place belongs to her. So Samantha told him the whole story, but he still doesn't believe her. So in anger, she went out of the hut. Meanwhile, Tom was coming with fuel. So suddenly 2 shots were fired, with which he is so scared that the fuel falls from his hand. He called out that someone is around, but there was no one here. So he came back. He saw an unknown girl with Samantha, who was actually Jody. She told him that she had a fight with her boyfriend. That's why he left her here alone. But now she has to go back home. Tom listens to her. Tom agrees to let her stay here, but in return, he will have to help her in her work. Next day, Samantha and she have good talks, with which they also become friends. But Tom's troubles are not ending there. He notices, the farther he is going from his location, the closer he is getting to her. That is, he comes back to the same hut again and again, which he finds very strange. And that's why he comes back to both of them, and said that this place is not right. We should leave from here. But I want to know one thing. Where were you actually going? And who is this place? Does anyone know here? So Samantha said that her husband told her that this is New Hampshire. But Jody says that this place is Dakota. Tom says that he was on the Los Angeles route. After all this, he has understood that he is in a big trouble. And that's why Tom has decided that they will go as far as they can tomorrow morning. so that they can take someone's help, or can find some other way to get out of this place. At night, Jody and Tom both have a very strange dream, in which someone is injecting them. And there was also some kind of Samantha, in which she is moaning in pain. Anyway, in the morning, so these people start walking with their luggage. There is a conversation between Samantha and Jody, in which she shares some pages of her past, as if her mother died as soon as she was born. Since then, she has grown up in an orphanage. Then suddenly something hit her foot, and she fell. At the same time, a car of money fell from her Jeep, seeing which Tom was surprised, and quickly asked, "Where did you get so much money from?" In response, he said that this is his own savings, which he had kept with his boyfriend. But on the way, he took it. Then Samantha's eyes fell on what Jody had hit. This was a handle, when Tom broke it with his axe. So it is actually a German bunker, in which all the war equipment was kept. And there were some canned food too, on which the Nazi army symbol was made. Here Samantha tells that her father had fought the First War. That's why such things keep coming and going in her house. Tom takes all those cans out, and then comes out with both. But the problem was that he had come to the same cabin again. According to him, he was walking straight. But maybe according to him, nothing is going to work here. The next moment we see that the three of them have dinner. And they are both girls. They talk to each other. So Jody tells Samantha the truth, that she steals because she has nothing else to do. She is not educated. Samantha asked her, can she see the money again that she had robbed? Because she has never seen so much money. So Jody happily shows her the money. She laughed when she saw it, because she thought she was kidding, because this stamp was of 1984. According to her, that money is of the future. But Jody said no. She lives in 1984. But according to Samantha, this year is 1964. Now all this was very strange. That is, two women are in the same place, but from different timelines, from different times. Now when Tom came, he was also asked the same question. What year is he from? He says he is from 2011. Now after hearing this, they both told their whole story. At first, Tom thought it was all a joke. But looking at the weight of their words, he understood that something was definitely wrong. In the meantime, a sudden sound of a bullet was fired from outside. Who is shooting again and again? When it was seen, it was found that he was an unknown person, who has a gun in his hand. They needed help. That's why he came out. He said they were in trouble. But that man started talking in German, which he could not understand. But he understood that he was telling him to throw the axe. That's why he did that. When he opened his eyes the next moment, all three of them were trapped. And that German was missing. Now he started to understand somewhere that it is possible that they have time traveled. All three of them were trapped. And that German was missing. The oldest Samantha asked, is time travel possible by 2011? If it is possible, then Tom says, no, nothing like that happened. After a while, he came back to Germany. Then he untied Tom's ropes. Then he took him outside and beat him a lot. At the end of the day, he tied him to a tree. Then he came in and started asking those girls, who is he and where did he come from? Then he looked at Jody's locket, about which he started asking her. It was only Samantha who knew German. That's why she explains to her that the locket belongs to her mother, and she has the same. When she has the same locket, then he shows the same locket in his neck, in which there was a picture of a woman who looked like Samantha's mother. Things are getting more and more annoying, but you stay, because its end will shake you. Now he comes out with both the girls. Then Samantha asks Tom, does he also have such a locket? But he refuses. Meanwhile, that unknown man had forgotten that Tom had untied his rope. Next moment he is in the same condition, in which he had kept these three. But standing there, these three are drowning in their own sweat, because somewhere they see this story. Samantha said that the picture in the locket, that belongs to his mother. Tom was not willing to believe this, but when Jody said that the woman in the picture is his grandmother, then he lost his mind. Here we also know the name of that unknown man. which Samantha tells us his name was, who was actually his father. But not only this, when Samantha asked Jody the date of his birth, then he said, June 3rd, 1964. This was the date on which Jody's mother died, giving birth to her daughter. And that daughter was no one else but Jody herself. Why did you get a shock? Now the whole cabin is in a state of shock. The thing has come out like this. Everyone has lost their minds. When Samantha found out that her husband was actually killed in the war, then she went out of the cabin crying. But not only this, another secret is revealed here. Sitting outside, Tom tells Jody that his mother was actually a thief. But he denies this, because he did not have such a locket. But he had to say that he has the same locket. But he is at his house now. He says that his mother was a thief who used to rob the grocery store. But one day she killed her husband, in whose crime she was hanged. This was a bitter truth, which was actually the truth. But Jody does not hear this, and she also comes out of the cabin. Sitting outside, her daughter Jody went to Samantha. Now that feeling is something different. The first thing is over, because since Samantha found out that she will die giving birth to her daughter, her world has been destroyed. But she is happy, because her daughter is alive, and her grandparents will take care of her later. But Jody told her that her grandparents torture her a lot, and always keep her hungry. That's why she left her home as a child. After hearing this, she started crying, and immediately came to the cabin, and explained everything to her father. And then she tried to free him, but Tom forbids her to do so, because he can be dangerous. But Samantha is sure that her father will not do anything to her. But as soon as she was free, he took his gun and clothes, and ran away from there. Samantha again remembers her scary dream, when she died giving birth to her child, because at that time, her husband Adam was at war, and the ambulance arrived late at home. Tom also told her that he also had such a dream, in which he shoots his father, who used to torture him, and then he shoots himself too. And finally it's Jody's turn. She also remembers the same hang day. That is, all three of them know that they are going to die, and they also know how they are going to die. But they have not died yet. That is, all three of them can change their past, for which Tom immediately takes them to the same German bunker, because he believed that all this started after the death of Hans Mann. So we have to stop him first. Samantha told that her father died on May 14th in Poland, and today was May 14th, and the place where they are standing is Poland. That is, they have a chance. Tom thought and said, if Hans Mann does not die, then his wife Samantha will not get married again, which means that she will be at home, and then she will be able to take Samantha to the hospital. That's why he immediately goes to find Hans Mann, who was making a connection with the radio in the cabin. But he was bad. So Samantha told him about the airstrike. But he doesn't listen to him, and starts running. When he starts running, Tom tries to stop him. But there is a terrible mistake in this. Hans Mann fired a bullet, which goes straight to Jody. He runs away, but these two wounded come to the cabin with Jody. Tom was very worried now, because if Jody dies, then he will never be born. I have to stop him somehow. Saying this, he goes to catch Hans Mann. Here Samantha tries to keep her daughter alive. That's why God has never given a human this power, that he can see his own past. Otherwise he will start peeling off the things made by nature, which can have a terrible end. Tom found Hans Mann, but he always runs away from his clutches. But he saw one thing. Wherever he ran, he was coming to the cabin again and again. That's why he also went to the cabin, where both of them were in front of each other. Hans Mann fires a lot of bullets at him, but not a single bullet hits him, because now Tom's existence is ending. Like Jody's last breath, as his soul leaves his body, Tom is losing his existence. And then a moment comes when he disappears completely, because Jody is dead. But Samantha is very angry at her father. She made her future generation's life difficult. After all this, Now Hans' man believes his words. But what now? It's too late. The sky has fallen. Russian planes are seen in the sky. That's why both of them ran. But the bombs have started to fall. Samantha is also injured. But her father picks her up and comes to the bunker. Now slowly, Samantha's existence is also ending. Because Hans' man saved himself. He didn't die at the time he died. That is, everything will be fine now. But one thing will not change yet. You will know what it was in a while. The scene shifts and reaches, again at the same time, in which the story began. But now things have changed a lot. Jody goes to the same grocery store, but in a different avatar, becoming a rich and educated girl. But when she came out of there, she saw Kevin, who is going to do the same with his other girlfriend. But with a new girlfriend, which means Tom will never be born, because Jody never met Kevin. And this happened because Samantha is still alive, which we see in the next scene, who has his father's ashes in his hand. With great respect, he gave Shraddhanjali. In 1964, where Kevin's new girlfriend Amelie robbed everything, but in the end, her greed did not end, and she looked at the box behind the cashier, which she told to open, but the cashier warned her, if she goes inside, now nothing will be able to improve. But she did not listen, and a bullet went in her mouth. And this is the end of the story. Friends, this is a wonderful story, which keeps us and your mind. How did you like the story? Do tell us by commenting. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.